Can you see that? It's recording.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry. I just froze then. Sorry, should we start again? Sorry.
Yeah, I think the only thing is if I have you paused it before? I can't, like, if I end broadcast, we'll have to go in again, but we could do that.
Sorry, my screen just completely froze.
Oh, that's all right. We could maybe just cut this bit out.
Yeah. Can you edit it easily enough? Is that easy to do?
Oh no, I'm not, because I don't have any editing software. Would it be easy in iMovie to just cut this bit out?
Yeah, I can do that. Don't worry. Okay.
Cool.
No more freezing.
Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to take some herbal tea. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this walkthrough of the program that both Lucy and I are so proud to have co-created. We've spent years ourselves looking for something just like this, so we're super excited.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching the video and joining us. And like Michelle said, we're just going to do a little walkthrough for you and explain a bit more so you can get to know us a bit more and we can get to know you a bit more. So the Feminine Freedom Framework means no more running around trying to get all your needs met for your business and for yourself. Because as you know, I'm sure, as a business owner, it's not just about business, it's about your personal life as well, keeping your energy up and working on your emotions and working on your mindset as well as the strategy. And that's what we've created, co-created with Feminine Freedom Framework. It's everything in one place.
Gosh, yeah, and it's been such a long time in creation, hasn't it? And it's coming straight from our own experiences as women in business, but also as partners, as mothers, as friends, as just as women. It's coming from all of those experiences and about what it's really like trying to get everything you need, chasing around, trying to find everything that you need, not just for your business, like Lucy said, but for you personally as well.
Exactly. So we want to share a bit of how Feminine Freedom Framework came about and how it can save you so much time, money, and energy and emotional sacrifice, which not a lot of people talk about. The emotional strain that it can have on yourself and, like Michelle said, your relationships and your life. And we're going to talk about a little bit of our own stories and our frustrations and our challenges and how that led us to co-creating Feminine Freedom Framework. And like Michelle said, this has been in the making for a while now because we've wanted to work together for a long time because I think Michelle's amazing. She is amazing. The work she does is incredible. I know that from people that have worked with her, but also I've personally worked with her on my business and in my personal life because you can't separate the two.
Yeah, that's what we wholeheartedly believe. But not only believe, in our experience, we know that at times when we have tried to keep the two separate is when the disconnect happens and one or the other inevitably suffers in some way. So we're super excited and like Lucy says, we've been wanting to do this but didn't quite know how to bring it all together for so long. Because like Lucy's worked with me, I've also worked with Lucy. We've been each other's clients. And Lucy is incredibly naturally and uniquely gifted in both in her healing and her unique style of coaching. So this is going to be supercharged and super powerful. And it's something that quite simply we wish had existed way back, years back when we were just starting out or we were just starting to grow our businesses, we so wish that we had been able to just go to one place to get everything we needed for both our business and for us. So I'm sure that you will relate to what we're already sharing with you, what we're going to share with you in our stories as we go through.
Exactly, and that's it. This is born out of our own experiences and what we wish we'd have had, because about a year into my business, I was going somewhere for business strategy, I was going somewhere else for mindset, I was going somewhere else for energetics, and somewhere else on the personal part of my relationships as well. And I'll share a bit more about this, but it's all linked. It's all linked. And going through from one person to another, not only was it expensive and costly, the investment wise, but also there could be contradicting advice or mentoring or coaching or things that were given out. So if something like Feminine Freedom Framework had have existed a year, after I'd got a year into my business and I really wanted that traction, that growth, but making sure it was sustainable and I was nurtured at the same time, then I would have cut out a lot of like spent time, energy, money, and probably tears as well.
Tears and frustration, and also not just the impact on us, but of course when we're getting disconnected and frustrated and overwhelmed, that has an impact on all those around us as well, those that we care most about, because that's where we go to vent those frustrations, isn't it? It's just inevitable. And the reality of it is that because we've shared these experiences, this is how we've brought this program together. We've, how many conversations have we had where we've gone, oh, I did that. Oh my God, I did that. And quite a lot of it was, some of it was fruitful and some of it was good investment, but it was the overwhelm of having to go, like Lucy says, in all of those different places and all of those different directions with different people who had different experiences and different opinions about things as well. And so we were just chasing around, searching for freedom, and all we got was burned out and broke, didn't we, Lucy?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll share some of your experience.
Yeah, exactly. And so I want to share with you a little bit of my story first about how I got to where I am now and why we've kind of created the Feminine Freedom Framework. So like Michele said, I was searching for freedom. That's why you set up your own business in the first place, isn't it? It's freedom with your time, freedom with choice of who you spend your time with, and also freedom when it comes to money, finances. And in the beginning, it just wasn't the case. And I was also experiencing, well, in my first business, I was an online marketing mentor for women. And what I realized was it was never about the strategy. It was never about the business strategy. It was about mindset, and it was about confidence and self-worth. That's what it came down to. And then I was going through some personal stuff at the time where I was trying to overcome a traumatic burglary I experienced in my 20s. And it was through this deep healing work, energy work, and cellular level work that I discovered that there's more to this than mindset. There's also the body work, and there's all the energetic works. We're energetic beings. So we can have, from experiences, trapped emotions that cause blocks in our bodies, and they can create patterns which then cause the mindset blocks. So that's kind of how I got into that, and then applying what I'd learned with coaching and business strategy, plus a little bit of a sprinkle of I work with creative life force energy, because that's the most powerful energy on the planet. So when you connect with yourself on that level and use that to help manifest by working with the law of attraction, you can just your results are amazing. Mind-blowing. But once again, it was all of these different facets, just bring it all together under one roof.
Yeah, and I have a very similar experience. I think before I started my own business, even this journey started, I think that because I was one of only a handful of female leaders in a notoriously male-dominated corporate cutthroat environment. I worked in advertising and marketing. And I think my journey started then when I was looking for different ways of leading, but also different ways of working that would suit me and my energetics, my personality, my nature better. And so I started to look for things like coaching techniques and NLP, and did all of those modalities to use with my people, my teams. But the reality was that I wasn't using it on myself. And then when I decided to set up my own business, because I loved this kind of work and thought, I'll do that as a business. The reality then was that I actually became the worst boss I'd ever had. Yeah. Because I was searching for all of, well, I need training. And I think it came from my corporate background, from, in advertising, there's something they refer to as full service. And it means that you try to do everything for your clients. And so I had that mentality of, you've got to do everything for your clients. And that means you've got to run around and learn all of these different things. And of course, along the way, I started to burn out, because when you're your own boss, there's no time limit. You have no excuse to leave the office at 6 or 7 o'clock. You've got to carry on. You just carry on, or you've got the option to carry on. And so my boundaries were really weak, and I wasn't doing the inner work, even though, the irony of it, I was teaching the mindset, I was teaching the inner work. That's what I was doing as a business, but I wasn't doing it for myself. And so it's only really when I started to do that work that it really broke through and helped me to be really powerful in the work that I was delivering for other people. Mm. The outer work without the inner work is no good. It just leads to that disconnect. And Lucy, through some of the work that you've done with me around my energetic healing, has been incredibly powerful and has enabled massive shifts. So that, exactly like you say, together with the practical, because quite often I think people can also go down the inner work route without having the practical stuff in place as well. So they're all beautifully cleared energetically and they've got great mindset and everything, but then what they're lacking is the skills. And then they've got to go out and start searching for the skills. And I think what I'm most proud of with Feminine Freedom Framework is how it brings all of that together in one gorgeous package.
Exactly, and that's it. Michelle's skills and my skills completely complement each other. The areas that are not my strengths are definitely Michelle's strengths when it comes to the marketing and just crafting your story, which we'll talk a little bit about later, and your bio, all these important things to help you get connected to your mission, to your business. Michelle is a wonder with those things. And so we'll help you craft those things, the practical. And that's for me what I was looking for after a year or so in business. It was the practical. That's what I was missing. I needed the step-to-step guide of the how-tos, because I kind of had the mindset and I was doing the emotional inner work. But like Michelle said, a lot of people can get stuck there, and we don't want that for you, because sometimes it can be a bit of a trap. You get stuck in doing the inner work and you don't actually move forward. And we want you to move forward and grow, but in a sustained way and a unique way to you. And to speak to another point with Michelle and I, what we discussed would be before we co-created the Feminine Freedom Framework, is that we both had experiences where people had almost kind of, we weren't really allowed many options. It was like, you do it this way, or you do it this way, you follow my formula. And as we know, you're so unique. We're all completely unique. There's not one of us that are the same. There's not one of us that has the same gifts as each other. So when that happens, it leaves you, when you don't get the results that you're supposed to have got, you can feel, wow, just awful, really awful. You lose your confidence. I know this happened to me many a times. I've lost my confidence. I lose trust. and I feel disconnected. So Michele and I, what we want to do is we will show you from our experience of what's worked and what hasn't worked. And there's two of us, remember, not just one of us. It's almost like a buffet, and we'll provide you with all the options that we know of from our decades collectively. In business. We will show you all of this and share all of this with you, and then it's up to you to tune into your intuition to work out what works for you and what doesn't, because it is a process. It's not done and then you're gone. Like, it's, you know, the next level, there will be more stuff. So it's about working out what your unique roadmap to success is, and we'd love to help you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that explanation, actually. It's perfect. And I think of it like a little bit like making a sandwich. You know, not everybody's going to want the same or want or need the same things on the sandwich. So I love the way you describe it, like a buffet, because then you can make your own sandwich, and that sandwich is unique. But we want to give you all the stuff you need on the buffet so that you're not going hungry, you're not going away wanting. You know, but then you can build it your own way, and you will leave with everything that you need to then carry on the work. It's not one of those programs that you leave going, oh, there's another level. Oh, I'm going to go on like the advanced or the platinum or something. No, this program is it, and you will leave with everything you need. You might need some one-to-one coaching, maybe direct, if you get stuck with the odd thing, but you will not leave being sold on to any other levels or any other programs.
Yeah, that's one thing we were very clear when we co-created this, is we want it to be a one-stop shop, so that as long as you do the work, because we know you've got to show up and you've got to do the work if you want the results, then it will happen for you. It will happen for you. But you will have to show up and do the work. And we know that sometimes it's not pretty, is it? Especially that inner work that you might have put away in a box you don't want to deal with. I definitely know that from past experience. But when you shine a light on it and bring it to the surface, even if it's something that's happened in your personal life, honestly, the results in your business will just be huge, not to mention the results in your personal life. And that's what we want for you. We want to, the reason we co-created another one for Feminine Freedom Framework is because we want to support women in stepping up and creating freedom for themselves. And this is the best way we know how, on your terms, by creating your own business. So we really want to support you in that. And that's what Feminine Freedom Framework is all about.
Yeah, it is, and it's a collaborative thing, like you say, Lucy. We've all got to show up and do the work. We'll do the work with you, but not for you, because it's your work. It's unique to you. But what we can promise you is that the more women that can go through this kind of thing and become free, feel free, and be free, and operate in a very free, liberated way, then that helps all women to step forward. And, you know, we go, well, we're not just about passing our gift on to a small group of women. We want to empower and enable those women to then go on and pass that on to other women. And exponentially, then we reach, hopefully, as many women as we possibly can around the globe, all women around the globe.
Exactly. Because when things start shifting for you, it will have an impact on everyone else around you. And once you can be that beacon of light and even hope in some cases, then it's just such a wonderful thing to then be able to support your family, your community, your country, your world. You know, it is global, like Michele says.
Yeah, it is. And as you can tell, we are hugely passionate about this, genuinely, because this is what we wish we'd have had. Created it for you, and we've done it in a really accessible way. We've talked at length about how we can make it easily accessible, affordable, manageable. We don't want anybody getting overwhelmed, because we know that can happen on programs as well. And so, you know, as we're stepping into, Lucy will talk more about this because it's her arena, it's her domain. But as we're stepping into this, not just a new year, but a new paradigm, we're stepping into the age of Aquarius, and this is the time of the feminine. So there is no better time. Today, of course, I know Lucy will touch on this more as well, because again, it's more her domain. Today, it's no, when we were planning to launch this, we came up with some dates and we worked backwards. And then I don't think it is any coincidence, even though it wasn't necessarily planned, that we're launching on Imbolc, an auspicious day, the first day of spring, when everything is rebirthed and new life starts to come through. And so if you have something that you feel you're ready to birth, or something that needs to be rebirthed or reinvigorated, then now is the absolute perfect time to think about doing that, isn't it, Lucy?
Yeah, exactly. Because this is another really exciting thing, the timing. It's all about timing. And I think that's why the time was just never right for Michele and I before to co-create something together. But now, as Michele mentioned, we're in the new paradigm, which is the age of Aquarius. So we've gone from old paradigm Piscean age to age of Aquarius. In a nutshell, what that means is the old paradigm was, I like to think of it as the 80s, shoulder pads, competition, what can I get from this, focus on the money, and patriarchy. It's a hierarchy, it's patriarchy. Age of Aquarius, completely different. It's all about leading with love, heart-centered living. It's about collaboration. It's not about competition. It's about unity, and it's about the greater good. So if you have that feeling, if you've already created a business that is of the light, that is new paradigm, that's based on your desires for a better world or for a better life for yourself and your family, then this is the program for you to help you get to that next level, not just spiritually, emotionally, mindset, but on the practical levels too, so that you can take action. Because when you clear away the energetic blocks, and when you clear away or become aware of your mindset blocks and work on those, you open up, you expand. And it's when you expand and you're in those moments of peace and calm, your intuition will kick in, and that's when you'll get ideas. And that's when you can take inspired action. And everything is easy, everything flows. And that's what we want for you, because when you have resistance and you're pushing, whether that's against energetic blocks or mindset blocks, it becomes sticky, and then you might feel overwhelmed, or you might just give up. And we don't want that for you, because I imagine that you have got gifts that need to be shared with the world, because there are people looking for your gifts and wanting to work with you. So we're going to help you become that lighthouse and get your message out there, but not just get your message out there, bring you with the confidence, with the self-worth, so you can stand there proud and tall and be that, like, this is me.
And those two work intrinsically together, so that, as Lucy's working, and I think it's important to say actually at this point that we both have our areas of specialty. Like mine is story and messaging and marketing and business, and Lucy is incredible energetic healing and coaching. But we both have experience of all of it as well. Lucy has been in business quite a while now. She's done the work, and I've done the healing and trained in healing modalities as well. So we've both got both. So you're getting double. You're getting like quadruple whammy. But yeah, the two are intrinsically linked. So it's no good having the practical foundational skills if you've not done the inner work, but it's no good just doing the inner work and not having the practical either, because that leaves you up here somewhere. Whereas just doing the practical leaves you concreted to the ground and not light enough to do the inner work. So both are absolutely crucial.
And I think that's it, because what might happen is perhaps you you go to craft your bio with Michelle's help, and it's like you have huge resistance. You go to the fridge instead, you go and do the washing up instead, maybe you put a wash on, and you won't sit down and do it. Well, that is a block there, right there. Now, that could be a mindset block, or that could be an energetic block. We wouldn't know, but it's your role to then clear that block, and we will show you how to do that, because like Michelle said, she's trained in healing modalities as well, and also mindset as well. So we'll show you how to clear these blocks, so then you just get on and do it. And so it's not, you don't make it into this big song and dance or procrastinate and don't get it done. And that's the beauty of merging the practical with the mindset and the energetic work. It's honestly, it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. And that's why we are so excited to deliver it for you in Feminine Freedom Framework.
Yeah, and I think what we've essentially done, which we probably just could have said in a few minutes at the beginning, couldn't we? We've basically taken how we've worked with each other and put it in a big package, put it in a box and tied a big bow on it. That's basically what we've done, because it has been so powerful for both of us. We've had such massive breakthroughs and shifts from doing that together. So I suppose we've got to tell people what the heck it's all about and how it's going to work, haven't we?
That's what I was thinking about. So it's a 12-week program, and it will be delivered through a private Facebook group. And there will be weekly modules, but we will be leaving space, because it's really, really important to us that you don't feel overwhelmed by this and you don't feel behind. That's one of the things, again, Michele and I, before we even kind of came up with it, we wrote a list of what we definitely wanted for the people that joined Feminine Freedom Framework. And one was, we don't want you to feel overwhelmed or that you're behind. So throughout that 12-week container, there will be 2 weeks where you'll be able to implement. There won't be any content coming out, and there'll be Q&As, live Q&As with Michele and I, and we will be in the groups anyway to answer your questions. You'll have access to us for that 12 weeks and for 2 weeks afterwards. We will keep the group open, and after that we'll archive the group, so you'll still have access to all the trainings, all the modules, all the content, but that will be the end of it then, in terms of, so it'll be 14 weeks in total that we'll be with you on this journey.
Yeah, and I think, I can say from my own personal point of view that those Q&As where we show up live and gather together are some of the most powerful times we'll probably spend, going through any blocks that people have got, anything they're struggling with, that you can just clear. It's like the difference between doing a typed message exchange where it takes you about 20 messages to get backwards and forwards and find a result, to just getting like going, oh God, I'll just ring them. 2 minutes later, you've done it. And I think that's what the energy of the live Q&A will be. And I don't think you can underestimate either just the power of that container of amazing women, just being in that space with other amazing women who are on the same mission, who are, working towards what you're working towards as well. And that support and that exchange. And I think the surprises for me when people with certain skills show up and you think, oh gosh, they can help me with this, and in return I can help them with that, and you get this whole beautiful exchange of support that starts to go on as well. And I don't think you can underestimate the power of that.
Yeah, especially at the moment as well, getting that support, not just from Michele and I, but from others. And I think also, to speak to that point, Michele and I met through a program as well, like several years ago, and then have become best friends. So it's just the power of being on this journey with other people and making those connections, because honestly, without my business best friends, I would call them, I have 4 in total, this would be really hard. This would be really difficult, even with the coaches that I work with, or the healers, or everyone else. Just having those besties that get it and understand it, then that's so valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. So powerful, isn't it? And some of the relationships that come out of programs like that So, you know, like, we're more than friends, we're like sisters, but we get each other, not just personally, but our businesses as well. And we know, you know, we can even tap into now when we just need a quick call, can't we?
Exactly.
When you do that energetic work, that's the kind of connection that happens, isn't it?
Exactly.
So Feminine Freedom Framework will be, Lucy says, 12 weeks of content. And we will cover all sorts of things. We'll just go over very briefly in a minute the kind of things that we're going to cover. And you have access to us all the way through that. You have access to, obviously, a fantastic community of other women. And then there's 2 weeks at the end to do your catching up and to tidy up before everything's archived. So it's 12 weeks, 12 modules.
Yes. So we've got week 1, which is all about an introduction, and it's all about setting intentions, because we want you to get the most from the Feminine Freedom Framework. And the best thing to do with that is get clear on what it is you actually want. What do you want when you've completed the program?
Yeah, absolutely crucial that we set that intention at the beginning. And then next comes story, because story is everything. Everybody has one, even if you think you don't have one, everybody has a story. And so we'll work with you on extracting that story if you're not clear what it is, and then how to hone it and craft it so that you can move it into your messaging, so that you're connecting with exactly the right people in exactly the right way. And you're finding your tribe, basically.
Exactly. And also it's really important to connect with your story, because it makes you unique. And so it makes you stand out from the crowd. If you know your story and why you do what you do, that why is so, so important, because there has been a massive rise in online businesses, especially in COVID times. So being able to stand out in the crowd, and then I'll support you in being able to speak it. So speak your truth. So any blocks that come up when you're crafting your story, when you're sharing your story, we need to heal and release those so that you can confidently show up in the online world, in the online space, and be that lighthouse that we mentioned.
Be that beacon. Yeah, absolutely. That's so powerful, because knowing your story and connecting to it are two completely different things. And until you've done that, then you can't connect to your messaging. If you can't connect to your messaging, then the people you want to attract can't connect to it either. So it's really powerful. So then after we've done some of that work, which will be some quite deep work, because it's not just the practical, it's the energetic as well. Then there will be that week to implement and craft some of that, get your story sorted, and then just start honing some of your messaging. And then we'll come with all of that to a really powerful gathering, a live gathering and a Q&A.
Perfect. And then after that, it will be money mindset. This is the most, I believe, one of the most crucial parts of running a business that people don't include, especially in their practical business courses. I rarely find a money module in there. And money is the lifeblood of your business. If you don't have any money coming in, you really have an expensive hobby. So we want to dig deep. This might be a challenging module. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, because money is a beautiful thing, but unfortunately we project a lot of our emotions. There can be a lot of trauma, especially for us women, around money, because if I'm going to put it in a nutshell, we only recently kind of got the vote, and it was only recently, you know, if you didn't birth a son, you could be homeless because it would go down the male line. So there's all these things culturally, and I'm not sure of that word, but when I'm talking about society as well, that can impact not only just from your parents and your upbringing. There's other things, other flavors that can come in here when we're talking about money, particularly when it comes to women. So we really wanted to give you a module on this And once again, not just the practical of how to manage your money, how to run a healthy business financially, but then also the mindset shifts that you'll need to get in place to run a healthy, successful business, but then also the energetics. So once again, if you won't even look at your bank account, or don't even want to look at how much you've spent this month, then we need to look at why. Why are you distracting with that? What's the root cause of it? And then again, work through it, release it, all with a lot of love, compassion, and kindness for yourself, and nourishment.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big piece of that for me is about future proofing as well.
Mm.
I'm really passionate about women, without excluding those they love, or family, or those that might be dependent on them, but providing for yourself for the future and future proofing, because none of us know what's going to happen, and we're all going to get old. Go figure. We're all actually going to get old, and so future proofing is a big part of that. And I think the work that we'll do around that will be largely about shifting the way you think about money. Definitely shifting the way you think about money, that rather as you might have even been taught it's something evil. I certainly was in my upbringing, which will be, again, Lucy and I will share a lot of our personal journeys throughout the program to illustrate what we're talking about. But you might see it as something evil or just a necessity. And we want you to see it as something that's beautifully freeing and liberating, and that is your right. So we'll be doing a lot of work around that.
And then week 6 is getting your message out, because it's all good doing all this work, but people have got to find you. You need clients.
Yeah. There's so many times I've worked with clients who've done, I've done a killer bio, and I've written all my marketing materials and I've copied from my website and everything. And I go, great. So who are you sharing it with? And they go, oh, okay, I've got to share it. Well, yeah, because otherwise you haven't got a business. You've just got a lovely website and some gorgeous copy. And so we really want to work with you on that. There will be a big piece that Lucy will come on to in a second around visibility. That's the inner work. But also we just need to make sure that we're putting you in the right places, that for whatever your proposition is, that we find the places that are absolutely right for you and that you're showing up in them.
Exactly. So that could be anything from podcasts to Facebook Live interviews to social media, and once again, if we come back to this buffet analogy, it's what works for you, because you're going to be depleted if you do everything. So it's about what works for you, but it is really important, because that's where you can find your tribe, build a following, and connect with people, because you've already done your bio and your story. So it is literally about just getting out there. And like Michele said, I would work with you on the confidence, because it's all about self-worth again. So it's raising your self-worth and your confidence, so you've got all the practical tools, but then the energetics behind it, really going out there and shining your light so people can find you and work with you that really need to.
Because people are already looking for you. They just don't know where you are. You're not shining your light.
Exactly.
And so again, then it's important, because there's a lot of work around there. Money's going to be a tricky one. That getting out there and being visible is going to be a tricky one. So you'll have a week then to really work on that. And then another really powerful live gathering, Q&A.
Yeah, so that'll be week 7. Will all be about questions and answers again, and implementation on your part. And we can just catch our breath, really catch up. And you can work through anything else that's come up for you. And then week 8 is the ideal client. My favorite one. I love them all, but I love this, because it's just getting to know who those people are that you really, really want to make a difference in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And then module 9 is all about then getting really visible. Really, and I think this is the deeper element to what we talked about previously with the getting out there. The getting out there is more about where to be, and the getting visible module is all about the really deep inner work. Like, how do you get comfortable with being visible and being seen?
And also it's about calling in your clients. So we talk a lot about this. It's rather than the getting. I don't really like that energy. It doesn't sound nice to me, but it's about being. It's about you being a beacon, so that you call in your clients. Your clients are attracted to you. It's not about you going out and finding them or getting them or anything like that. And that's what we're supporting you in doing. So you can really stand in your ground, and people will come to you. They'll want to be in your energy. They will want to work with you.
Yeah, and that's why story and messaging is so powerful, because that's like the flashlight that guides them to you. That's the path. So that's incredibly powerful. But then, of course, we've got to get a beautiful package together. So, you know, it's like, sometimes you can have all the best ingredients in the world, but if we go back to the sandwich analogy, how do we come up with sandwich analogy? We didn't.
I'm always about food. You know, I love the food.
If we go back to that, you know, it's no good having gorgeous, fresh, tasty ingredients and then having some crappy stale bread around it. You know, we've got to put something really nice around it as well, and we've got to package it in a way that is really attractive. So we'll be working with you on that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, it's about you leading the way with this. How do you want to show up and serve your clients? It is all about you. And then just packaging that up because it will resonate with someone. Then the next one is sales and consistency. So now, I know a lot of people, I know I would have gone, oh, sales. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time trying to get sales right, because it was just so difficult for me. I found it really challenging. I've tried everything from sales scripts to like going off piste. And then one of my biggest challenges was over delivering on a discovery call or a clarity call. So it meant that I was giving away the goods. And then sad and rejected when they didn't sign up because I'd already done the transformation, and wasn't good at selling myself and what I did. Then again, there's just some mindset shifts. Again, some stuff that Michelle's helped me with. Mindset shifts, energetic shifts, because again, selling is about self-worth as well. So and throwing the scripts out the window because I'm unique and they don't work for me. And now completely different. I've had 3 sales calls, if I'm going to call them that, in the last 3 weeks, and every one of them has signed. And they're in 30 minutes now, and I love them. I can't wait to show up and see, learn about this person and then see if I can help. And then if they're open to it, if they're not, then that's cool too. But it's just, honestly, I think this is what I'm most excited about, because it's been a long time coming. And something that I worked on for years, and like Michele has mentioned, it was one of the missing pieces for me that I really struggled with, and was a lot of heartache.
Yeah. And same for me. And I think for a lot of heart-centered, particularly women in business, it is a big sticking point. Sales and marketing are the things that I hear most about. But it's just about, so I don't talk about sales anymore. I don't use that word. I talk about guidance and relationships and connections. So a lot of it is around the language that we use as well. But I wanted to touch on what you said about our proposition being completely unique, and that's why often even outsourcing doesn't work, because I know we've both tried that as well.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work for us because it's not our messaging, it's not our form of communication, it's not our language. And so it's really important that you do your own sales. I think, unless you're a massive organization, obviously, or you're selling a product, which I think most of the women that do FFF won't be. But I think it's really important to connect to that. And so we'll be giving you lots of different ways of looking at sales and reordering your language around sales so that it changes your mindset around it.
And you get the shifts you need to really go to the next level and enjoy the calls, enjoy meeting these new people. And also, as well, the consistency with that.
Yeah.
Because with sales, you can have the feast and famine cycle. So we'll be speaking into a bit of that. And again, it comes back to your nourishment, your energy levels, so you don't feel depleted and you can keep going. And I know Michele does a lot of work with cycles as well, which we'll be talking about, because this was a game changer again for me in my business, learning what my personal cycle is, what my business cycles are, and then working with them rather than trying to force when I was in a kind of lower energy cycle. And yeah, and everything is relationships and cycles, especially if you're a woman.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, those cycles can either be the cycle of the day, what are the best hours for you to work within, or they can be seasonal. I work seasonally, I know you do as well, but our seasons are our seasons. And it's so super important to work all that out, because otherwise resistance comes up. And I know, just as a way of endorsement, actually, just before we came on to do this video, Lucy and I were talking about how much resistance we've felt in the past around launching and selling when we've created a new program of our own, and yet how easy and effortless this has felt, because we've got that different approach to sales. It's about building relationships and connections.
Exactly. And it's so much more fun that way. And then week 12 is about celebration. Woohoo! You've joined us on this journey, and it's amazing. You've got your bio, you've crafted your story, you're connected to your business, you're going out there and calling in your tribe, calling in your clients, you've got your packages, you've got your relationship. I don't want to use the word sales, but I don't know what else to use. You've got your comfortable and comfy with sales and money as well. You've figured out the money thing, the money piece in your business, and you have your plan to really move forward confidently and get your message out into the world and create huge positive change for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for the world.
But then they've got a turbo boost, which is your energetic and healing work. So they've done the work on themselves as well, like we've done the work on ourselves. So that I can't underestimate, honestly, I can't overestimate, should I say, how powerful that is. That just that extra energy and confidence that comes from having focused on yourself and on what you need for you. That is the rocket launcher, I think. The healing and the inner work is the rocket launcher.
Yeah, and then also we'll be sharing tools and techniques that you can take with you again, so that you can be consistent and just keep going. And whenever you do have a wobble, because that does happen in business, you'll have the tools in your broom cupboard, I like to say, to go forward and keep going and create the life and the freedom that you desire and so deserve. You know you deserve it. It's your time, gorgeous. It really is.
It's all of our time, and pass it on to other women as well. So we would absolutely love to set you up on the road to freedom and abundance in your life, because that can come from your business. Your business can actually be in such a beautiful package and so beautifully formed that it's providing that freedom for you in your life, for you personally, because like Lucy said, you deserve it.
Exactly. So we would love for you to join us. We are only opening for 12 amazing women, because like we said, we want to keep this personal. We want to really support you in your transformation and taking your business to the next level. So we want to give as much as we can to this. So yeah, if you want to be one of those 20, then the details are below this video. And come and join us. We start on Monday the 8th of March, which is International Women's Day. And yeah, if you have any questions, then please do reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, and again, that was a complete, it wasn't planned, was it? I picked the 8th of March, and then Lucy said, do you know that's International Women's Day? So everything about this has felt so easy and meant to be. And that's exactly how we want you to feel about your business. And we would be so honored to be able to put you in that position and have you feeling like that. It would be amazing. So we would love you to come and join us, because it's going to be joyous. It's going to be hard work along the way sometimes as well, but you'll have the love and encouragement of not only Lucy and I, but the whole group. But it'll be lots of fun as well. We'll have loads of fun as well.
Yeah, and basically you will get what you need. And more, probably more, because there'll be stuff that you didn't realize you needed that you need. So I think that's it. So hopefully, like I said, if you have any questions, then please reach out. We're more than happy to answer them, and hopefully we shall see you in the program. Bye for now.
Bye.